Hello, Sci-Fi Gangstas. Welcome to another Sci-Fi Gangster show. I guess we're gonna call them a show. Yeah. So today's topic, we're gonna talk about a little bit about Star Wars, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we're looking forward to in the next movie. Adam hasn't seen the movie yet, so he's just gonna sit there quietly and not say anything about it, which is fine.
Now, right?
It's fine, whatever. It's cool. We'll come back to you next topic, so that'll be good. So first things first, the movie is great.
Yeah.
Right? We can all agree that we like the movie.
It's the best Star Wars movie.
It's the best Star Wars
It's the
movie?
best one.
It's the best one.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, it's
really
good.
No, it's not Empire.
Okay, it's not Empire. So let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. James Etchison, why don't you go ahead and tell me what you like? Talk to us. Don't worry about the camera. Don't. This is just the audience. But talk a little about Star Wars, what you liked. Is there anything that you didn't like? Let's go ahead and start with that first. Go ahead.
What did I like? This is going to sound like it's a big thing, but it was a small thing to me. It's just, like, it's going to sound like, oh, this is bad about the movie, but it was just weird. The plot of Star Wars Episode 7 is almost a carbon copy of the plot from A New Hope.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like he had like a Mad Libs, and he just replaced the nouns. And he's like, okay, either on the desert planet of Jakku. It's ready. But it worked. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot of Episode 4 with new characters.
Yeah, I think that's what he said he was going for. Like he wanted to sort of recreate places where you already been before.
Yeah.
And then set up something to where they can go to all new different, something different than Empire. Like I don't think the next one will be a copy of Empire.
Everyone is expecting it to be a copy of Empire. I hope not. I know what I want to see in the next movie, but we'll get to that point later. But you guys are right. I keep hearing people say it's a cover song of New Hope, and it definitely is. There's a lot of elements. At first, you're like, well, this is very similar to New Hope. But when you kind of dissect it, you're like, wow, this is really close to New Hope. I mean, you got an Obi-Wan character.
Yeah.
You got a Han Solo character
Named Han Solo.
Awesome. Right. You got Han Solo.
Well, Han Solo is Obi-Wan.
And then you got new Han Solo.
Dean was not Han Solo-ish, but he filled that same role.
But Poe is
Han Solo.
Poe is Han Solo.
Yeah. But he was also big. So.
Right.
But his spirit of the character, I think, is Han Solo.
He was great.
That was great.
So, what did you like about the movie?
Oh, everything.
Everything else.
I mean, I think Rey was just amazing. Like, she was so cool, and they let her do cool stuff that Luke didn't necessarily get to do in the first movie. So maybe she's even more powerful than he is.
Now I have heard some backlash online, which I think is actually just because the movie is so good that people are just trying to find things to fault the movie. But I have been hearing that the term called Mary Sue, which means a character that's just way too good at everything.
Yeah.
And
I think that's just coming from misogynists.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a misogynist term referring to people's inability to suspend disbelief for a woman who's good at more than one thing.
Well, think about it though for a second though. She was pretty good at a lot of things. Now I love the movie, and I love that character. I pretty much loved every character in the whole movie. But she was pretty good at everything. She was a great mechanic. She was really great at the Force when she couldn't use it. She was great at a lightsaber. I mean, it just seemed like she was great at fighting. Like it seemed like everything that, and it's kind of explained away in the Force. Like, oh no, she's really powerful with the Force.
I mean, and that's one of the things that I didn't like about the movie was some of the jumps in logic they made.
Okay.
Like that.
I feel like I'm a big Superman fan, but people complain about Superman who's good at everything. I'm like, that's cool. I want to see that.
Okay.
Well,
I want to see someone who is good at everything. I'm not good at anything. I want to see.
So who was your favorite character? There's a lot of great characters to choose from because I thought they were all done pretty well.
Yeah.
I thought the acting was fantastic in this movie. So who was your favorite character?
C-3PO, definitely. He's my favorite in the other movies. He's my favorite in this movie.
He's like,
He's
hey, I have
so
a new
funny.
arm.
He's just such a funny character. Like he makes me laugh every time I see him.
I was not expecting that. Who's your favorite character?
I really like what they did with Chewbacca, actually.
Oh, okay.
In this one. They gave him a little more personality. He had some comedic moments, which I thought was great. Outside of that, of the new characters, I think Poe is probably my favorite. But I just like the actor, too.
Yeah,
he was
Oscar Isaac.
fantastic in Ex Machina.
Yeah, whoever casted him did a great job. Everyone was just.
It's funny because his character, it kind of highlights the movie like right off the bat where he says, "Do I talk to Utah?" Remember that part? He's like, "Do I talk? Am I supposed to talk to Utah?"
Yeah,
and it's just perfect.
Even the part where they were introducing themselves, like he was so enthusiastic, but he sold it so well.
Mhm.
Like it's a really likable guy.
I changed my answer. So.
Yeah.
He's your favorite character now?
No.
I actually liked all of them. I liked Finn too. I don't think enough people are saying they liked Finn.
I didn't want to like Finn, but
Okay.
he was so charismatic, you really didn't have a choice but to like him.
I liked the bromance between Finn and Poe Dameron. I thought that was a whole lot of fun, So I liked Kylo Ren. I thought Kylo Ren was one of my favorite characters in the movie.
He was less in control than Vader
Mhm.
was, even filling that same role.
And I wasn't expecting him to. I was expecting him to be kind of like a Darth Vader, like a poor man's Darth Vader, and it definitely wasn't like that. It was kind of a whole new take on a villain character, which I really enjoyed.
And we talked before. That was the part I was most nervous about because I do not like him previously. The actor, I didn't like the actor
Oh, really?
because all I knew him from was Girls,
Oh, and
where he plays this really weird character, and he comes off just like a really bad actor in the show. But I liked him as Kylo Ren. Like he was good.
I thought he was a really compelling
Solo.
villain. I like the whole him struggling between the light and the dark. Will he keep doing that now that he killed Han Solo? By the way, can I just say I called it a long time ago.
I went back and liked that
A
scene.
long time ago. And I actually had reasons why it was going to happen, and it all made sense. I wasn't expecting it to be a complete remake of New Hope, but I definitely saw the parallels between Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi from the very beginning because I saw the way J.J. Abrams did it in Into Darkness, and I figured that he was going to do it. He did it well, though. He did it very well.
Yeah. So this is what I've been thinking about. So that is a really emotional scene when Han dies.
Mhm.
Like it really rips at you, especially if you
So-
kind of know it's coming when he's walking down.
Yeah, they telegraph it. Yeah, big
Um,
time. Yeah.
But if people, so assuming 1, 2, and 3 weren't terrible, which they are,
Yeah.
would everyone have been so bought into Obi-Wan's character that when he died in Episode 4 would have had the same impact? That's what I've been wondering about. Because normally when you see Episode 4 from the get-go,
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan's not around that long.
Yeah.
So he dies, but it doesn't really hit you that much.
And he dies in a very unusual way. And he dies in a way where you're like, is he really dead?
Well, it's not really. He joins the living force.
Right. Okay. There you go.
His battery's dying. Is that accurate? His battery's dying in his lightsaber, and he can't.
Then he goes away.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. That's what happened.
But Luke's lightsaber in Force Awakens is fine. Like it's been fine all these years. So maybe he just made it better. Like he had lithium ion versus.
So is there? So you already mentioned what you didn't like about it. What did you not? What did you dislike about?
So it's really fun. Like it's everything Star Wars fans wanted. There were leaps in logic made to have that fun that in a story sense really are illogical. I mean, so why was Finn so quick to jump out of his conditioning, right? So assuming he's been brought up by the whatever they call the Empire, the First Order. So he's been brought up the whole
It's
time.
the Force, man. It's the Force.
He what makes him all of a sudden just flip that switch and go against all the propaganda he's been told the whole time and all that?
You could say it was a malfunction in his programming, right?
Well, he's not a clone. I mean, he's a person.
Right.
It was brainwashing
Okay.
as he went along.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so we know Jedi are strong in different ways, right? Some are better than others in other things, but and you can say that Rey is just incredibly powerful, which if she's a descendant of Anakin, she should be very powerful. And there's people thinking she's a clone of Luke and things like that, which Anakin was more powerful than Luke, but still. So she's just that powerful. And since Kylo is a son of Leia, he might not be as powerful.
Okay.
But he does some really badass things at the beginning, like stopping that blaster
The
bullet.
blaster bullet, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And, maybe his saber skills aren't that great, But not only did Rey beat him, but Finn actually held his own for a little bit.
He did.
Which is, it doesn't necessarily make sense.
Now, he was injured. Chewie did shoot him with the...
He was injured, yeah.
And he was emotionally unstable. Right.
And I guess if you want to say that maybe Finn was trained as a shock trooper.
We're giving away this whole damn movie to you. You haven't seen it. We're going to the whole movie. Okay.
He said he doesn't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. So,
it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
So you could say possibly all these things happened.
But he did, yeah. It did seem kind of unusual that she beat him. She should not have beat him, right?
Yeah, if he's been trained with a lightsaber, which isn't necessarily one of the things people are just naturally good at with the Force. You know, that's more of telekinesis versus, you know, some of the other things they can do. But it's sort of that it just seemed like that was for the good of, or for the fun of the chain of events and not necessarily from a logic.
It was a very satisfying ending, I'll tell you. I mean, it really was. And should it have been that satisfying? Maybe not, but it was just a whole lot of fun to sit there and go, come on, Rey. Come on, you can do this, you know. But you're right. For how awesome he was when he did stuff, it kind of seems weird that he was pretty easily beaten by someone who's never used a lightsaber before.
But it's her family. Like, who is she related to others? My theory is she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
See, I've heard that as well. I've heard that she's Luke Skywalker's daughter. I've heard that she's actually the sister of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, but why would Luke sell her to the junk man? You know what I mean?
That's the other thing. Yeah. If it is Luke's kid, it makes him look terrible.
Yeah,
that he would just leave his kid there, knowing that the same thing happened to him.
Yeah,
he knows what it's like.
But he was at least with his aunt and uncle, like some relatives, not the junk man, Simon Pegg or whatever. I don't know what his name is.
That was Simon Pegg too.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was Simon Pegg in there.
So yeah, so I don't like the idea, well, unless they have some really good excuse for her being Luke's kid.
And everything you guys are mentioning that you didn't like is kind of the same things that I wasn't that crazy about. I thought the acting was great. It definitely wasn't a perfect movie, and it probably wasn't the best Star Wars movie, but it was really good. They took some liberties with some things, like you said.
It was what the fans wanted, and the question is, would it be so well received if we didn't have the awful prequels to compare it to? Like, if all we had was the original trilogy, would it be as popular as it is?
I think
it crossed $1 billion today in a week.
It's a lot of money.
By the way,
they can almost pay Han Solo's salary for that.
So Harrison Ford was paid $25 million just to be in the movie once, plus he has 0.5% of the gross income.
Jesus.
So he's making out pretty well.
He deserves it, but that's a lot of money.
He did really well in the movie as well.
I would hate for him to not be in it.
You could definitely tell he wasn't phoning it in. I think he just got really excited about, I'm going to die at the end of this movie, so I'm going to go ahead and really, I'm going to give it my all on this one. But yeah, seeing Princess Leia was okay. I think the fact that we know what she's like in real life
she cleans up very well.
She does.
Much better than she looks in person.
We saw her in Dallas where we saw a panel where she's kind of a crazy person.
Yeah, I've heard
of it. See, I waited in line for that panel for like 4 hours.
Okay.
Total, and y'all waited in line for an autograph the next day for like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Because she just didn't show up.
Yeah, she just doesn't. Yeah, she just doesn't show up. She was cool when you finally got to meet her. Like, when I got to her in line, she was asking me, she was like, where do you want this signed? What do you want me to write? You know, blah, blah. She probably took a little too long with everybody because everyone was pretty upset that you had to wait so long. But
I think she does have documented mental health issues, so it's not.
No, she really is kind of a little weird in the head. But, I mean, it's Princess Leia, so you got to go to that panel, right? You can't not go to that panel. She didn't talk about Star Wars at all. She talked about her dog the whole time. But, hey, it's still kind of
fun. She loves her dog.
She does love her dog. When that dog dies, we might lose her forever. So yeah, so let's quickly jump into what we want to see in the next movie. You don't want to see an Empire remake. You don't want to see something parallel with Empire. What do you want to see?
I want to see Han Solo come back.
Oh my goodness. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. He's dead. Did that upset you?
Oh, it upset me a lot.
Okay. I warned you. I told you it was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't want to believe it.
What a spoiler when you didn't know.
So it's hard to so Luke's obviously going to take on a Yoda role.
Right.
He's going to train Rey in the Force. But I don't want to see him stay on the planet and train her. I want to see him come back into the fight.
Oh, okay.
And to start building the new Jedi Order.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, the trilogy is going to be based around the redemption of Kylo Ren. Imagine it.
I hope not. Man, I hope not.
Well, I mean, all the movies are going to be about the Skywalker family.
Okay.
So, I don't think he's going to die. Like,
Okay.
I think Luke might die in the last one in a redemptive effort to bring Kylo back.
Okay.
But that would be in the third one. Other than see the new Jedi Order come, I was so invested in the extended universe stuff before it became non-canon that I would love to see some of that come into it.
Okay.
Just because, you know, you had all these stories.
So you want to see another Death Star?
You see Dash Rendar?
I see Talon Card come into play.
Admiral Thrawn.
And Mara Jade and everybody. I mean, I just want to see some things more to fill in.
You did get the evil Han Solo's son, so you did get something.
Yeah, you got that.
Except his
Well,
name's Ben for some weird-ass reason. By the way, have we...
Which that was the name of Luke's son.
Yeah,
in the extended
okay.
universe,
Yeah.
I don't want to see another Death Star. I think we've had enough variations
We
of
did.
the Death Star.
We
We'll
have.
get one in the third.
Yeah.
He's even bigger.
And that's the other thing. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That you have this planet that can take the energy from a star and then send it to another group of planets, and they see it from this other planet. Unless they're all in the same solar system, it doesn't make sense.
That was one other thing.
It also doesn't make sense for a planet to survive.
No,
it's sun.
Well,
when there's a sun here, and you're
This guy has lots of suns, and that was the last one.
There's a spare sun up there.
If they were in the same solar system, if they just extinguished the sun, it would kill everybody.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to send the...
Right.
Yeah.
It's getting cold.
Yeah, let's still think of it's almost as silly as the black hole that took over Vulcan.
Yeah.
That's almost as silly as that. So that's what you want to see in the next one. What do you want to see in the next one?
I just want to be surprised. Rian Johnson is one of my favorite directors of all time. I think Break is just an amazing movie, and Looper is awesome. And that episode of Breaking Bad, I guess. I haven't seen Brothers Bloom. He's not prolific or anything, but I don't like to speculate.
Okay.
I do speculate that, she's Palpatine's granddaughter, but I don't really care if that's true or not.
Do you think that Snoke is going to be
Lord.
Plagueis?
Okay.
Plagueis?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
So that's Palpatine's master, who he killed,
Oh.
who had found a way to avoid death.
What's that from?
That was from episode 3, where he mentions him.
I've only seen that once. Okay.
And it's been...
That'd be cool. Anything's going to surprise me, and it's going to be cool. Like, I wouldn't mind if they did do some stuff that tied into the prequels. I don't like the prequels, but I'm not mad at them or anything. I used to be, but
We're cool.
I'm over it now.
Prequels are pretty cool right now.
I'm over it now that
We made it.
7 came out.
So what I want to see is I actually want to see an origin for Kylo Ren. I don't want to see a complete prequel, but I thought that was one of the most interesting parts of the movie. Is there's a lot of questions there.
Yeah.
How did he turn evil? What did Han Solo do? Because he constantly brings up the fact that Han Solo was a terrible father or whatever.
Yeah.
Did Han Solo actually do something? Which would be kind of interesting if Han Solo actually did do something kind of wrong, Did he just turn evil just because he was like, I want to be evil now, so...
And where are the other Knights of Ren?
Right, exactly. So whatever happened to them?
Yeah.
How many other good Jedi did he kill? Like, what caused this? Was he just sort of a Dexter guy where he was just evil from birth? Or kind of like, that's kind of what I want to dive in a little more and kind of get to know that character a little more. I really don't want to see a redemption story from him because it's way too close to Darth Vader. I don't want to see him save someone's life at the last minute or anything like that. I want
that's
him,
unavoidable. Like, that seems to be where they're going.
yeah,
with it.
and that's why I don't want to see it because everyone is expecting it to happen. So I definitely don't want to see that. I do want to see him eventually die, I do want to see him kill more people. I want to see him kill Princess Leia. I want to see him kill Luke Skywalker. I want this guy to be
You are
hated.
the worst. You are not a Star Wars fan.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. He's gonna end up
What's
killing.
wrong with you?
He's gonna. I'm calling it just like I called it Han Solo. He's gonna kill Luke Skywalker and he's gonna kill Princess Leia, and he's gonna become this super hated villain, and they're gonna kill him at the end because it's gonna be a satisfying ending.
That will not be satisfying. The entire family is destroyed.
That's what I want to see.
You think he's gonna get he got kind of messed up. He didn't get limbs cut off in the fight, but do you think he's gonna get maybe some robot enhancements similar to Darth Vader?
I think he's gonna become far more powerful now. Now that he's gonna get trained. I think in the first movie he was sort of a fraud. You know, like he could do cool stuff, but you could tell that there was a lot of things that he couldn't do. You know, he got beat by someone who used the Force for the first time. So I think in this movie
he's going to go control of his emotions.
He's going to go from fraud to full-fledged badass.
I like how you tried to do the alliteration there.
Right. So I want to see that in the next movie. So we talked about Star Wars enough for you?
Yeah, I do want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Do you want to see J.J. Abrams direct the next one?
I do want to see J.J. Abrams direct.
I'm so excited to see what Rian Johnson does. I'm such a big fan.
And Abrams is good at getting things kicked off, but I think he's kind of like Lucas in that regard, to where he has good ideas, but then he needs to step away and let other people come in.
Somebody else take
run
over
with it.
Yeah,
I would like to see him come back in the third one. I will say that. I think that would be kind of cool for him to wrap it up again. But
I liked Lost from the beginning and not what it ended up as when he stopped having to do with it. I like the new Star Trek movies. And I love Force Awakens, so I'm a big J.J. Abrams fan. But I want to see something new and not, like you said, a cover something.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think we talked
That
about
was my only
Star
input.
Wars. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate that.
Right
That was
there
cool.
at the end.
That was a good one. I definitely like that. I guess this is the point of the video where I tell everybody to comment and tell us what you think and all that good stuff and like and subscribe and all that good and watch our other videos.